An 11 by 16 with 8-foot streaming waterfall.
That is an amazing stump. Yeah. You said bees and butterflies, pollinators. What do your friends that have come over here for the first time say? So, Cheryl, you were saying...
Well, I was saying thank you for inventing it in the first place, because it's all these years later, I'm getting the benefit, and it's completely changed the way we live in our backyard and how we use our property.
So you're happy with this young man?
I am beyond thrilled.
And I heard how it happened was you had an existing pond, and you basically called them to repair it.
Can you clean it and give us a water overflow little thing? And,
yeah.
And he said, yeah, but you know, we can do that. But he's looking around, and he said, well, where do you really spend all your time? I said, well, we actually spend it over there in this mud pit with our dogs, but we don't like it. Well, let's walk over there. So he looked at the property and he said, well, you're a gardener and I love making ponds. Why don't we build something together? And he got out his spray paint and started sketching.
Oh, yeah.
The spray paint. I went, okay, I love this. This is insane. And it was freezing. It was early spring. It was 7 o'clock at night. We were all like not in our right minds. We were so excited. We just like were chattering our teeth, but we were like excited about the drawing. He said, and a waterfall and a thing and a thing. And I went, okay, yes. So then he came back a few days later and he talked about it again. And he said, okay, I'll let you know when I'm ready. And he came over and just tweaked this one, but really made that.
Okay, so is this the original? Okay, let's check this out. All right. Property. So this is your therapy, working in the garden.
Yeah, this is kind of like how I meditate. Is just come home, and I'm an artist as well, so I try to create areas where I might be able to take pictures and paint and do things like that.
So this was an existing pond when you got the property. That this was here.
Yeah. This was here.
So you originally were just thinking to have Thomas come out and clean this out.
Yeah, can you add a few rocks and make it cuter?
And
he said, yeah, but why don't we make it this big? And as we talked about getting it bigger and closer to our lives, we realized we really should just incorporate our lives with the new pond.
I see it. So Thomas, why don't we walk over here and check this out? I love the little seating area. Boy,
and
this is...
He encouraged us to live in this space in a whole different way, so we created all these little seating
vignettes
we never had before.
Right, because of the pond.
We were living here on this.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Can I see that puppy? Is that friendly?
Oh.
Look at that, it's a golden?
Yeah.
Aw, he has to get a toy. Aw, yeah. You're boy or girl?
Eddie.
Eddie? Boy, okay. How old?
He is 5 this summer.
Yeah. You want me to throw your toy, Eddie? You just want to give it to me? Aw, yeah. Cute.
I want it back, thank you.
Aw, and then who's
this?
this?
Rosie.
So you got a boy and a girl. A doodle.
Yeah, she's a doodle. But she turned very poodle and he turned very golden.
Yeah. Are they both doodles?
Yep, they're both doodles.
Okay, you just got long hair.
Yeah, they just went to the extreme.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, no jumping.
Younger?
Yeah, she's a year and a half and he's 5. So we got her for him because he was getting all mellow, you know. And
so what we say about ponds is they're a lot like puppies.
Okay.
So this is a first year pond, right? It was just a couple months old.
Yeah.
So the first year will be a little bit harder than the second year, and by year 3 it's all dialed in. But one thing that you have that's nice about this pond is you have shade. It looks beautiful. All right, so I'm already looking at it and I'm jealous of this stump. That is an amazing stump.
Yeah. Do you know the story behind that stump?
I'm just meeting you, so I don't know. No.
Well, we have 2 kids that live next door, and part of their fort was this stump, and their dad gave them a couple of pieces of wood over it, and they kind of played with this stump, and now they've gotten too old, so they don't want their stump anymore. And I went to the neighbor and said, do you mind if we haul that out of the ravine?
You said that?
Yes.
Oh my God, this is, so you said she's an artist, so.
So we said, hey, do you want to and Thomas was foraging around. Look, what do you have? What do you have? So he pulled some wood that we had, some old split rail stuff that he put in.
Yep.
And he looked at that and said, yes, we're putting it in. So he had to.
That's, oh my gosh, I'm gonna sit right here. Okay, look at that stump. That is exquisite.
That is a black walnut stump.
Okay, wow, this is.
That's probably 200 years old.
This is.
The cool part about that is it mimics these maple trees here.
Sure.
It basically matches.
And you got another piece of wood up there. I love how this time of day the dappled sunlight comes in.
Yeah. So at 4 o'clock, this whole thing has a sheet of sunlight and the rest is in shade. It is the most incredible sort of godly thing.
Yes.
It comes around and just, it's flooded. And how could this be? Every day we get that.
Amen. A couple fish. So
They were in
cute.
the other pond. They're much happier here.
So you moved the fish over.
We moved them over, and they love it. They swim. They do so much more here than they were doing in the other pond.
And they're easy pets.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, an 11 by 16 pond with about an 8-foot stream and waterfall and an intake. But as you can see, just walking up to this door, she is a gardener. She's an artist. So we loved working for people like that because she makes everything look better. So originally, we were called out to service this pond. She wanted maybe a waterfall added onto it. And yeah, so I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. But then we looked over here and I saw this space over here. She said she spent a lot of time over here in the back of the house. So I was like, we have to do a pond back in this corner. So this was all grass about 2 months ago. This concrete patio here was the only thing here, and then it was just grass and kind of mud area right here. So we came in and we laid this oversized jumbo flag patio in here. You can see really cool detail work. There's some like little pea gravel in there, and then just polymeric sand. So it's just a mixture, really creating little different points of interest in here. And then yeah, this is the pond itself. An 11 by 16, like I said, with 8-foot stream and waterfall. We also added a intake bay on this because of these massive trees in here. Really cool backdrop for this pond, but they also drop a lot of leaves. So putting that intake bay on there is great for maintenance. We pulled this stump out of the ravine, which just fits so cool in this pond. Mimics these maple trees here. We also have another stump right there. I'm gonna walk you up the waterfall here. Nice tranquil sound. That's the biofalls right there. Nicely hidden with a piece of wood there. And as you can see again, she's a gardener, so she's been planting this up like nothing else, making this look super natural already. Like I said, this pond is only about maybe 2 months old now, not even a month and a half. So she's done an amazing job. Another thing we did here was we cantilevered this flagstone right over the side of the pond here, really making this a destination boulder. We used about 10 ton of weathered limestone on this project, and it just fits super amazingly in this little spot, enormous backyard.
So this is your garden, and you've been making it bigger as you've grown. And this is just like you said, bees and butterflies, pollinators. It's gorgeous, by the way. And when you first got the pond, what did you say? It was too big?
Thomas started building it, and because we went from grass to a pond, both of us went, oh, is it too big? And Marianne said, well, it's too late now. It's dug. And we had to get used to the scale and almost the grandeur of it.
Yeah.
And then once he filled it with the water and all the rocks were in place, we got used to it. It took us about 2 weeks to actually acclimatize to it, to, engaging with it, and just the breadth of garden that it took.
Yes.
After about a month, we both said to each other, don't you wish it was bigger?
Always the way it goes. So Cheryl, this was your idea, but you kind of got Marianne on board, and now you said you love this, Marianne?
I do love it. I almost wish that we extended it around and made it a little bit of a swimming pool.
A recreation pond. Yep.
Yeah, it has transformed the backyard. This was a space that we never really knew what to do with. Whenever we had gatherings, everybody would be back here.
Yeah, sure.
Right behind the house, but the grass wasn't great because of the trees and the dogs. It just was muddy and patchy and not pretty. So when we put tables out, they'd be all
sure.
wonky.
Well, speaking of gatherings, what do your friends that have come over here for the first time say?
Well, I'll give you an example. Peter hadn't been here for 2 months, our carpenter friend. He came around the corner, and I forgot pond was anything new.
Yep.
And he stopped. What is this Garden of Eden?
Garden of Eden.
He just was in shock. Cheryl, what have you done? And he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop. He just was blown away. And when people come, they will not leave. Everyone just sits here.
Yes.
And they will not leave.
Time melts away.
That's it. And if we're out, can we go back and just sit by the pond?
Amen.
So it's hot out there. They're like, just want to sit underneath the trees.
I love it.
Some people sit down in the chairs too, and then they sit for a minute, and then they look and they say, "Where's the water coming?"
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many people ask us that.
They don't know how it recirculates.
Well, I said, Thomas was digging so far that he hit a spring, and so it's just. And believe me, and really?
That's the ultimate compliment.
Several people have also asked if that tree, people that have been in our backyard many times before. I said, "Is that tree always there?"
The water feature sprouted around it.
Yeah.
That is nice. So this was just, you inherited this property?
We bought this property.
Okay.
We were in Toronto. We were always looking for Marianne to come back to St. Catharines, and we looked at all these properties, and I had a feeling about this one because we saw it online and it was ticking the boxes, but I was kind of nervous to move to Toronto. And then Marianne was, let's take a look. We went, and it was like, oh God, I think this is it. My prerequisite was...
What are these?
Those are thistles.
Wow.
Yeah,
that purple is
This is
fantastic.
1 season old, isn't it? It's fantastic, yeah.
So this was, you've slowly added to the garden.
Yes, I'm getting rid of the grass.
Yes, love that.
And Thomas also helped us to have a height. So him making the pond goes down low, deep, and the berm at the back brings us up. So, and then he created lines around it. So he's given us a lot of dimension, a lot of layers.
Well, and you said you were in a 20 by 60 foot lot in the city or something? So this is really...
Like we lived in our driveway. That's our house, and we parked our car there.
Right.
And we thought we were happy. And then we came here, and I kept saying, "Mary, how far can I walk?" She said, "Oh no, you own over there. How far can I walk this way?"
Right.
You can go. But my body was used to being contained.
So you've had this for 5 years.
This is our 5th summer. Yeah.
So the garden is continuing to grow and expand and replace lawn.
Yes.
So this was the existing pond that I'm assuming you enjoyed. You were having him to come out to fix it, right?
We thought this was it. The frogs were coming, and the moss was here, and it was just kind of, it needed some tweaking. It needed something, and
is there an old waterfall that used to be back there?
There used to be a waterfall, but it's clogged and quite broken, and he said, "Listen, let's forget about that." He said, "Why? Don't spend your money there. Let's spend it somewhere else."
He was so hey, thank you for listening to him.
Yeah.
That's great. I love the little statuary and stuff that you added, the little touches. Just exquisite. Well, thank you for this hospitality and coming back. You have a beautiful garden. So this is your master bedroom?
Yes.
Oh, I love the skylight, and then this beautiful, oh, I love it with all the succulents, and then look at that view, guys, and that sound. Oh my goodness. It's perfect.
It is beyond perfect.
And so we see the other pond over on that side.
Yes. And Thomas has made them link with the little swale there.
Uh-huh.
So this pond overflowed.
Yeah, so he's got a dry creek bed.
And we've had to do it a couple times because the power went off and it was
Okay.
raining. So it overflowed, and it just went gently in there, and it looked like a beautiful river and right into the flower bed.
With that dry creek bed in between the two.
You
Wow.
made them talk to each other.
Gorgeous aerial
And these
view.
gardens I put in, I don't even know why, but here they were, and then everything just came together,
I mean, you are natural.
and it was just like super fun.
So you painted that? Yeah. Wow. That is gorgeous. You have a lot of talent, and I love your decor and your style. This is what started it all off, and this is what happens. This is not a bad pond, but this is a very typical homeowner built pond. The ring of pearls, the set stones around the edge. They enjoyed it, so they wanted it cleaned and they wanted it fixed. And then Thomas came in and he said, "Where do you use the property?" And it's over here. This is what it's all about. It's about helping people live the aquascape lifestyle. And sure, they still got this running. It's nice. There's nothing wrong with it, but the piece de resistance is right over here. There's an old adage, if at first you don't succeed, try again. I love the fact that, hey, they didn't give up when they didn't have the exact water feature that they wanted. They were open for coaching, and they were open to listen to a certified aquascape contractor. About half of certified aquascape contractors' work usually comes from fixing an existing water feature. If you have an existing water feature, or you just want to live the aquascape lifestyle, check out the link to find a certified aquascape contractor by you. I love my job.